Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good, thank
Good
you.
morning. Good morning.
We
How
are
are you?
great, great. We are the community education team for Mental Health Association in New Jersey, and my name is Lynette Sheard, and I'm the director of the New Jersey Mental Health Players, as well as the community education coordinator. I'm going to have Laverne S. Williams introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Laverne Williams. I'm the director of the PEWS program. PEWS stands for Promoting Emotional Wellness and Spirituality, where you blend theology with the behavioral sciences.
Thank you. And Miss Marilyn Feliciano.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marilyn Feliciano. I work for the community education program. I'm spearheading a group for Spanish-speaking community, Raíces Conectadas.
Thank you so much, ladies. And it is an honor to just have this kind of like roundtable here to just kind of talk about some things that apply to all of us. So as community education coordinators, what does stigma of mental health and substance use mean to you?
Well, for me, stigma means when people are treating you differently because of your mental illness. And then the substance disorder is when persons are just not normally living the life that they could live without the substance. So they're not able to act upon how they would wish their life to be without taking some type of drug and or alcohol.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's just stigma is just such a big word, that kind of is, for me, I guess I feel disenfranchisement. Like that word sticks out for me when I hear stigma related to mental health services and addiction, services, is that just discrimination against someone who wants to seek treatment or to receive care, to talk about emotional wellness. So I see, our departments as far as community education, really just breaking stigma completely in our multicultural communities. Marilyn?
Stigma means shaming someone, blaming them for something that they have no control over, for a brain disorder, just your negative belief against someone who has a substance use or mental illness.
Wow. And the way you added that, because we talk about discrimination and stigma, we talk about color, we talk about height, we talk about weight, we talk about skin color, we talk about race, we talk about gender. I mean, it's so many isms out here. I have another question for you, ladies. What challenges does stigma present, in your programs?
It prevents people from seeking help. They're ashamed. They don't want to talk about it. No one wants to admit that they have an emotional challenge or a mental illness. People will talk about heart disease or diabetes, but they won't necessarily talk about what's going on with their mind. And unfortunately, or fortunately, mental illness is a dis-ease. It's a dis-ease with the mind, just like any other disease. And once people start recognizing that they can get the help that they need, just like they would for cancer or diabetes, I think we'll all be better off.
Marilyn, your thoughts about that?
I think that with the stigma, people and the shame and isolation, people become isolated. Therefore, they don't feel like they're capable to hold a job, go to school, have meaningful relationships. It's just a slew of things. They feel that they're bullied, like family just doesn't know what to say. They feel stigmatized as well. They don't know what to say to their family members. They delay seeking treatment, which in turn makes it worse. So, I think community ed does a great job talking about how common mental illnesses really is. And giving them more, stigma is lack of information, fear, like of the unknown. I know that in my culture, this is something we don't talk about. So to see people like us talking about it, people then start feeling comfortable and like, okay, well, if it happened to her, or this is how she dealt with, or that's how, she's talking about it, then maybe we should feel comfortable enough in our own skin to talk about it amongst our family members.
That's a great point, because looking at all of us, sometimes we don't think about it because it's just so who we are. But here we are, 3 women of color, talking about stigma, talking about mental health, talking about substance use disorder, to the masses. And I think that alone is breaking a stigma, to just really to talk about it. That, breaking the stigma is talking about getting a screening. Breaking the stigma is talking about seeking help, as you mentioned, stop isolating, consider different types of care and treatment, open your mouth, it's safe, so Thank you so much for that. I just have one more question for you, because you all run these amazing programs and do so many things through community ed. So how does MHANJ help within your specific programs?
Well, I want to give a big shout out and hats off to the Mental Health Association in New Jersey, because back since 2005, to my knowledge, particularly in New Jersey, we were the only agency who was combining faith communities with mental health. And so I'm just happy to report that over the years, many more people are coming out and talking about it in their faith communities, and talking not only to their clergy, but then going on to talk to a mental health professional. So oftentimes persons of color who will go to their clergy for help and healing, because psychology is a very small part of the seminary curriculum. Unfortunately, people have not been helped as well as they could be if they maybe talk to their mental health professional as well as their clergy person, doing both. But we can pray with you. We can, just do some spiritual affirmations that other groups may not feel comfortable doing. So again, if you're looking for something like that, every Tuesday at 2:00, I have a program entitled Thankful Tuesdays. It's where you can get uplifting information. You can talk about what's going on in your life, what's working, what's not working. And it's a safe space that people can just talk about how they're feeling without judgment because of their spiritual background. So I take hats off to the Pews that's been doing this since 2005, and it's growing, and people are recognizing, whether it be in a Baptist church or a synagogue or in a mosque. So I'm very happy to report that we were the groundbreakers on behavioral health and theology.
Can I pick up on the groundbreaking thing too? Because I would like to give a shout out to MHANJ too, because I think we're also groundbreaking with the New Jersey mental health players. We are the longest running community education program of its type throughout the state of New Jersey. And what exactly that means is that we use art, advocacy, theater, and improv to go out into diverse communities to depict real life situations related to any ism, stigma, racism, sexism, ageism, mental health, alcohol addiction, drug addiction, any type of ism. And we use art to actually talk about and disarm people, to increase education and awareness, to decrease stigma and break the silence often associated with seeking emotional care. So I'm so pleased to be able to work for MHA and to use the New Jersey mental health players to do that. But also because our creative communities, while we used our creativity to go out, and these are groups of volunteers who go out throughout all 21 counties of New Jersey to look in people's faces, to, as Laverne would say, heart with ears, and engage them in these interactive presentations. But since COVID, now what we do is we do virtual. So now, because our creative communities are so impacted by COVID-19, is that now we have a weekly webinar called Why This Show Must Go On, How to Maintain Your Creative Sanity During This Crisis. And it's an opportunity to encourage, inspire, and support our creative communities during this emotional crisis, and to share coping skills. So it's just amazing, just the opportunity and what has come out of this pandemic. I think is an opportunity for us to break the stigma and to really talk about mental health, because now everybody's talking about it. So, so Marilyn, so what you got going on, lady?
So I'm going to go on the thanking MHANJ bandwagon as well, because I was fortunate enough to start a program to Spanish-speaking communities to provide not only educational, but resources. Just after COVID-19, or during COVID-19, the Black and Brown population was affected by COVID-19. So I saw the challenges that people were having, and not only English-speaking folks, but Spanish-speaking folks were really marginalized and were struggling to get resources, just like medicine, appointments with their doctors. And I just felt that the need, and MHA really gave me the opportunity to start Raíces Conectada last August. And Raíces Conectada is about being that bridge, connecting individuals that need the resources, not only providing the educational piece, but actually building partnerships with local and state organizations to do the educational piece. And right after the educational piece, you have a name, a number, and an email of the actual contact, the resource. So I thank MHA and the partnership that we have built in the past 7-8 months that has given us the opportunity to talk about substance use, domestic violence, ESL classes. That is so important. We're encouraging all our participants to, if they don't speak the language, to get involved, take an ESL class. There's so many groups out there. There's just so many different topics that we want to cover. And it's not only for the Spanish speaking community, it's just to everyone, anyone that wants to know about our culture and how comfortable it is, because it's really different, right? When you go to a support group or when you go to an educational group and we understand the speaker speaks your language and you have questions because you can't ask the question because people don't understand your cultural background, is just make the dynamic of the group is amazing. And people have been open and they actually want to come and give us topics to cover. So we've been very, very fortunate, and you ladies have been helpful and just paving the way for me, right? Because Raíces Conectadas is a baby, and we look forward to whatever we can do to help the community, educate the community, and provide the resources that are available to our community.
I guess to wrap it all up is that we all provide safe spaces for our community. We've expanded what community looks like with MHANJ. We're more inclusive. We include all communities. All communities are welcome, and we look forward to providing programming at no cost to your agency. So check us out and learn more about our programs, because we are here to help to break the stigma. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.